Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here and welcome back to another crypto video. And first off, here are 4 of the most important dates in March that you need to be made aware of if you're an investor or a crypto holder, as explained by Coin Bureau.
First up is the 10th of March. This is when the jobs data in the United States comes out, and it's also the day on which Mt. Gox creditors are finally due to receive their Bitcoin. This could mean some sell pressure hitting the market. Next up, a double whammy, 14th and 15th of March. This is when the CPI data and the PPI data in the United States come out, and these will basically show us where inflation is at in the country. If inflation has gone back up, that is not going to be good news. And that feeds into the final big date for March, and that is the 22nd. This is the day of the Fed meeting. This is when Fed officials get together and decide how much they are going to raise interest rates by. It's likely to be 25 basis points. It could be 50, and if it is, that is going to be wild.
Anyway, the point here being that March is usually not the most active of months, and I guess all these dates that are up and coming are data that keeps getting released every single month in, month out. But it's always nice to know exactly what dates to focus on because usually there's some massive volatility on those dates. As you guys can see today, the crypto market again is in neutral territory. Bitcoin is up roughly nothing, and in actuality, almost nothing here in the top list of cryptos is actually moving a significant bunch. We can see there's a couple of outliers like AVEX here, which is up 3%. And by the way, sorry for the voice, my voice is gone a little bit, it seems, which is also why I've not been recording for the last couple of days. There's a couple of coins that are up in double digits, or at least there were. Right now, there's only one, which is AGIX. And then there's a couple coins which are down a significant bunch, but still only minus 7%, which is Stacks, EOS, and DYDX. Now, in the list that you just saw, there was also Cardano inside, and that coin is not doing too amazing today, even though it's not doing bad. You can see it's roughly down 1%, but there's actually been some pretty hefty FUD, some Cardano FUD going around the crypto space right now, and Charles Hoskinson was pretty quick to slap it all down by saying this. This is categorically false. I've never heard that word combination before. And a great example of how FUD spreads. What we're talking about here is a little thread ongoing where somebody explained the Cardano governance. This is Vanessa Harris, who said, "Gonna be a mega threat on Cardano governance. We're about to enter the Voltaire era, and I've got things to say on the proposed governance mechanisms. Follow along to learn what is being proposed and what it means for you." And if we go to point number 7, which is this one right here, let me not put too fine a point on it. The Cardano Improvement Protocol 1694 is set up such that IOG, one of the governing bodies behind Cardano, it's Input Output Global, which used to be IOHK, which I think Charles Hoskinson is the CEO of as well, et al. Will never lose control of Cardano outside of extreme circumstances. This is just a veneer of decentralized governance. And the general public was really not too happy with the way in which she worded things because it all doesn't really make a lot of sense. Anyway, the point here is, if somebody is telling you something is such a deep takeover of sorts, or such a sort of tyrannical or basically centralized approach to things, usually they'd get a lot of compliments for, sharing that information to the public. Whenever you see this much criticism of such a claim, usually there is something quite wrong, or there's a fine print that's not been stated here. And that's the case. We're talking about a proposal that to most of our opinions sounds pretty good. And if you want to, you can take it out of context and write some of the most nasty things surrounding it. But generally speaking, I'm still quite bullish on Cardano, and I'm not going to let somebody who's writing some FUD and some untruths or skewed truths deter me from buying more Cardano. What is deterring me from buying more crypto was watching this video.
Talk about crypto, no. We don't talk about crypto. Grew to live in fear of the dumping and the rocking, looking for a coin that will certainly be mooning, gaping into Ponzi's and other scams. tough to be full-time DJing, looking at JPEGs when I should be nouning, grappling with a protocol I do not understand. Do you have weak hands?
Millionaire with zero in his bank when he sees a bear.
Acapella.
Then walk the plank when the tax man comes. See how fast he runs.
We don't talk about crypto, no, no, no. Where's the music and the crypto? Woo!
Yeah, I had to sit through that. You had to too. Okay, then we're going to have to go on a complete side note or a side journey, which is the SEC's war on the investors making profit. So what I mean with that is, if you're looking at the biggest enemy of crypto, it most likely is the US SEC, or in better terms, if you're looking at the guys who are really trying their best to keep you from making money, it probably is the US SEC. Now take a look at Adam Cochran, who shared SEC suggesting Binance is an unregistered securities exchange on the grounds of BUSD is unregistered security is brutal chess 4D. Binance has to settle, or else they'd be open to discovery by a US agency. If they settled, it would block the Voyager deal for sure and result in a penalty and likely industry exclusion in US for executives, but would also be soft precedent to bully other US exchanges. Twitter seems to have broke and lost the remaining tweets, but basically, no way CZ pulls back curtains to save the US entity. And now CZ also shared some light on this. Regarding the Voyager Binance deal, this is what a US judge responded to an SEC attorney who failed to provide specific arguments. Quote, deliberative is one thing, but what have you done? If there are reasons to be concerned here, I need to hear specifics, end quote. More bangers by the judge. Quote, I am shocked a regulator would come in and say, here's quote, I'm charged with regulatory authority over these things. These are reasons that I have concerns because they're within my regulatory jurisdiction, but I've done nothing. I have nothing to offer you. So again, it's regarding the Binance Voyager deal. CZ said maybe we should pull out, and afterwards he said, we are still in support of the deal and helping returning funds to users as quickly as possible if allowed to do so. But we are now starting to see more and more that the space is it's skewed, and a very big part of it has to do with the SEC. Take a step back, not going after FTX timely enough, not going after all these behemoths timely enough, but then timely enough going after those who are on a proper path towards good things, or at least who are willing to go the right path. Take a look at Ripple, take a look at BUSD here, which nobody thought was wrong because it cannot be a security, but it just seems they want to destroy the crypto space for some reason, as if they wanted to harbor it, they would have never let the whole FTX thing happen. It just doesn't make sense for them to allow that to happen. And if they wanted to destroy it, what they would do is allow FTX to happen and then go after the bases, which is Binance, which is all the people that are lending out money, etc. Just go after everybody so that you can't make money, can only lose money, and add to it by suing companies like Ripple to just lose people more money, because that's all they're basically seeming to do. Let's reiterate, the SEC is doing good things, but mostly bad things. I'd say there's a good couple in the bunch, right? If you're throwing out 100 cases, probably a couple of them are good, but a lot of them are just really, really garbage. And again, the whole debacle is about the fact that right now, Binance basically wants to get Voyager out and get people their money back. But the SEC is saying, well, Binance US, they're offering unregistered securities, so shouldn't allow them to do that. And now there's lawyers going back and forth about what is smart for Binance to do, because the deeper they get into this, the more they're open for the SEC to investigate them, which is also not too nice because they'll find some stuff. I'm not saying they're doing anything wrong. I'm just saying they'll find some stuff, or they'll argue some stuff, even if it's not really justifiable. They'll try. Then again, it's not only the US that's kind of negative Nancying towards crypto. HSBC nationwide joined growing list of banks restricting crypto in the US. I don't know what else to tell you. In the UK. The UK has been a really, really good place for a lot of sort of businesses, but crypto just ain't one of them recently. And I guess from some perspective, I appreciate it because back in this HYIP, that was high yield investment program era, they used to buy these London companies for, I don't know, a couple bucks, I think maybe like $40 or so, the small LLPs, the partnerships, throw it onto their website and say, hey, you see, we're properly registered in the UK, we're a crypto company, it's all good. It's because it was so easy. Or maybe they even just bought the fake ones, I don't really know. But the fact that the UK is restricting it is making it a little bit more easy to spot. You know, if it's a crypto company in the UK, there's a small chance that it's actually legit, so we might want to research it deeper. Because if they really have it done, it must be a top tier company because, well, all these banks are kind of scared towards it, which mostly comes because of all this pressure from FTX, etc. It will all come back eventually, though. Give it another year, and all these guys will be crawling back to get these clients that are making tons of money. It's just about image. It's just about risk management. Talking about risk management, Silvergate, hopefully you guys all know it from the whole Alameda FTX drama. Apparently, they're halting their crypto payments after suffering a $1 billion loss. Again, take a look back. Silvergate faced some US fraud probe over FTX and Alameda dealings. This was a while ago. And we can look deeper into all the connections between them and the guys at the SEC, but I don't want to do that. Just want to point out that even these guys right now are struggling, which I'm not sure if that's a bad thing. And to also reiterate a point we made earlier, the US, they're just not doing the best of jobs, and I don't know how else to describe it to you guys. They could literally be the spearhead of crypto innovation. They could literally be the hub. They have the capacity for it, and it seems they're trying to protect some players like they did with FTX over others. So it's not like they're completely in every way against crypto. They're just against the majority of crypto. However, all that we're noticing is not that they're protecting the investors, they're just protecting the investors in the US from making tons of money and getting onto these opportunities, which they'll try to do anyway, but you're just restricting them easy access to it, allowing for them to go through shadier means to get there. It's like blocking some people from getting their stuff. It's like, well, not always are you making it better now. You're just allowing them, or you're making it more likely for them to find a sneakier way to get what they want if you're blocking it. Anyway, we've already seen it. All that they're doing is making these companies move abroad and not settle properly in the US, not follow the proper protocols and rules because there are none. They're just saying, hey, we don't want to make rules, we just don't want you here. Get out. But they don't say it that way. They say, hey, we want you here, come on, but you have to register properly, and once you do, we're going to screw you up. So come on here and we're going to screw you, which is like the same thing. It's like, well, you'd rather go abroad, right? You'd rather go across the sea. And that's where the biggest problem lies. It's that they are trying so hard to get onto all these properly registered entities. Where in reality, if they just made a proper framework and just made sure that everybody had to follow that, this space would be so ridiculously safe for US investors that they could easily make money across this realm and not be in this much of a strange state. Anyway, the crypto market is in for a little bit of a ride, right? Last couple of days have been pretty crazy in terms of price. I've been watching it from the sidelines. It's kind of boring, but it's also quite crazy. What I mean with that is we've seen some pretty big volatility, but it's like mostly evened out, and then some crazy volatility, and then it evens out. Crazy volatility. It's pretty weird. But all I recommend you guys to do is just watch out for the 4 dates that we mentioned at the start of the video, because those are going to be most significant for volatility, like almost necessarily, almost as a given. And the rest we'll just take at face value and see however it comes over us. But anyway, that was it for today's little crypto update. Most likely, I got another video coming later today, so stay tuned for that. And I'll see you guys again in another crypto video, as I said, later today.